Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, that's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Yeah, nice and short. If it takes more than 5 seconds in the morning, I'm not interested, with a haircut, and give it about 6 weeks and it'll look absolutely fabulous for a month after that. A little bit late coming on this morning, was looking after my 10-month-old grandson who was having a fabulous sleep most of the time. It was absolutely gorgeous in that my stepdaughter and her partner, they have one of those monitors that's on the end of the crib and you can watch it from another room. He slept most of the time, and when he did wake up, he was just playing in his crib, and he was chatting away as 10-month-olds do, and there was an orb swirling around. The room was dark, and there was, oh gosh, it was just amazing to watch. So that was absolutely lovely. In not so good news, got the call from the vet this morning. Spotty does have a carcinoma mouth cancer. The options are major, serious surgery where they remove, part of the jaw, which is really not on the cards at his age. He's nearly 13. So we'll be putting him on a daily mild chemo tablet that has anti-inflammatory and painkillers and stuff in it, and he should be right for about another 6 to 12 months. So um, upsetting, but it is the cycle of life. Okay, just quickly, entertainment only. What I'm going to have a look at in this particular reading is, sorry if I don't seem upset enough. I am, but I'm also very, I've had dogs all my life, and it is awful, but he's loving life and he doesn't know any different, and that's all you can ask for. Okay, what everybody's talking about, the meeting in Alaska. First of all, I'm just going to ask whether it's going to go ahead. Apparently it's down for this week. Oh, I just wanted to point out, Witkoff, also known as Dickoff, was in Moscow last week. Sanctions were supposed to start on Russia today. No sanctions. Okay, so obviously there was some sort of agreement that came to there. And the Putin figure, I won't call him Putin because I haven't been able to pick up Putin himself for about 18 months. And I think there's about Ukraine have come out and said they've identified about 8 body doubles over the last 18 months. But apparently the Putin figure gave Dickoff the Order of Lenin medal, not for Dickoff himself, but to pass on to the Director of Digital Innovation in the CIA for the death of this guy's son. So the Director of Digital Innovation in the CIA, his son passed away fighting for Russia in the war. Okay, well, that's really, really interesting. I didn't realize that, and I'm pretty sure that not everybody that is unalived, and we say that for the senses, for those that get a bit miffy that we don't say the D word, we say unalive because otherwise the senses leap all over us. I'm pretty sure not everybody who's unalive gets that medal. So this is very much prior to the Alaska meeting. I'm just getting that it's a symbolism of we own you to the Orange Twerp and his regime. Just a reminder that we own you. We have people and positions, etc. Oh, just how deep and entangled does this go? So my first question is will this meeting go ahead? Now, the Orange Twerps basically said, I think the Putin figure or the Kremlin had asked for the meeting to be in the Middle East, and for some reason it's ended up in Alaska. Now, the border of Alaska is only 2 miles from the border of Russia, so I suppose it's a little hop and jump over for the Putin figure if he's going. The Orange Twerp has said, we're going to have a deep dive in this. The Orange Twerp has announced that the Kremlin is willing to do a land swap. Okay. Now, a swap usually means I give you this and you give me that. So what land is he actually talking about swapping? But also, I mean, Ukraine said no. No, and I can completely understand Ukraine because they've also talked to the European leaders who are backing Ukraine in this no, because in the past there were agreements that were made. There was um, Ukraine, when the USSR broke up and Ukraine became a sovereign country, there was an agreement that was made that Ukraine would give up its nuclear weapons that were on its lands in exchange for protection by the West from any sort of invasion from Russia or attack from Russia, that if Russia attacked Ukraine, the West would cavalry in and protect it. Well, what happened? Russia decided to invade Crimea. This was during the Obama years, I think 2014, if I get it right. Didn't look it up. That's going off the top of my head. Russia invaded Crimea. And what did the West do? They go, oh, whoops. Oh, just let them have it. So there was no, Ukraine gave up a lot for supposed protection and didn't get the protection. Now, what also happened then was there was an agreement made in regards to Russia invading Crimea. The agreement was made with the US as well that, okay, we'll give up Crimea if you can guarantee us protection from any invasion from Russia. Here we are. So why should Ukraine ever believe that anything, any agreement is worth the paper it's written on? It's not. So I'm getting a yes that it's going to go ahead. Getting a yes that it's going to go ahead on the top. Yes, yes, yes. 3 yeses is pretty indicative. So yes, the meeting is going to go ahead in Alaska. We'll have a deep dive into what is actually going to be discussed and what's going to be offered. Peace talks without one of the parties? That's a bit... It's not a peace talk. Okay, what I want to ask is, will there be... I'm going to ask, I haven't picked Putin up for so long. I mean, I know some readers still get he's alive. That's fine. I'm sure we'll find out. Is he still alive? No. I get a no. But, that's me. That's my channel. Is a Putin figure, whether it's... I can't even say Putin himself because my guides are just stopping me from doing it. Is a Putin figure going to go to Alaska? Okay, yes. Yes. Yes, yes. Now, I don't think the felon has he face to face with Putin since Helsinki or thereabouts? I'm not sure. Just have a sip of my... Okay, where do I start? I'm going to use my Gilded Tarot Royale. And I just want to ask, also my true crime cards turned up the other day, so I'll be using those as well. Okay, the sanctions were supposed to have gone on. They haven't gone on Russia. They haven't. They've gone on countries that deal with Russia, like India, but they haven't gone on Russia themselves. Remember old Taco said, oh, you've got so many days to sign a ceasefire or a peace treaty, and if you don't, then we're going to put these extra sanctions on. Well, they haven't happened. So let's have a look. What is actually going to be discussed? Now, yeah, a few of you pointed out that Alaska is our billboard that is in the Siberian city of Kranoysk. I'm sure I've got the Kranoyorsk. Alaska is ours. That billboard's been up since 2022. Gee, what happened in 2022? The GOP took over the House and Russia invaded Ukraine. So, yeah, there's some interesting signalling going on there. And what do I see? I saw the yes card pop out, the sun card pop out at me. Alaska was sold to the United States. Pity Canada didn't buy it, but it was sold to the United States by Tsar Alexander in 1867 for $7.2 million, which was 7.2 million. A lot of money in those days. A lot of money. Now you've got to remember that the Tsars were tossed out and executed early last century. So in the revolution, I think it was 1917, was it? I can't really remember. There's executed early last century. So whether or not there's this attitude of, because it was sold by I'm going to say a defunct monarchy, is there a belief within Russia that is still belongs to Russia? Does that make sense? It's so convoluted. Putin figure, or Putin or the Kremlin or whoever, has come out publicly and said Alaska still belongs to Russia and they want it back. So what's actually the talks going to be about? Come on down, let's have a look. No idea where this reading's going to go. Right, the Lovers card. Who are the lovers? We know who are the lovers. There's one dominant figure and there's one, well, you've got the figure in the background there, the aggressive, patriarchal, dictatorship. I'm in the triad of dictators at the moment. In the face of the rise of this feminine energy, the fading masculine, in the rise of this this rising feminine energy, still trying to dominate when they can't dominate. It's really interesting that the energy of Zelensky's energy feels like it's rising. Now, I'm not saying he's feminine in this sense, but he does have a compassionate side to him where he's doing what he's doing for the sake of the people, not for the glory of it, is rising, whereas this triad of dictators, and that's the orange twerp, Putin and Netanyahu, is fading. But while they're fading, it's when it's their most it's when they become their most desperate, because they've got nothing to lose and they'll prepared to take the ship down with them. Okay, so this sort of the contracts and agreements. There's some sort of contract and agreement there. Challenged by not liking what is actually on offer on the table. Okay, so someone's disappointed, and I suspect that's going to, I don't know which side's going to be disappointed. Let's see how it plays out. One of the sides is going to be disappointed in what the other side is offering. At the foundation, we've got the Eight of Pentacles, work done behind the scenes, skilled work done behind the scenes, but also it's money. Cooking the books for money. Cooking the books is the energy they're stewing in. The orange twerp's always been transactional. He never does anything out of the goodness of his heart. It's always about what's in it for me. So there might be some financial money trail transactions going on here. In the past, we've got the Sun. Everything being exposed, revealed, shining a light. You'd have to be under a rock not to have a clue about, the relationship between these two. And remember how he looked after Helsinki, and he looked like a whipped dog after that meeting with Putin at that stage, and Putin came out with a big smirk on his face, and the orange twerp looked like he'd been seen a ghost. Well, very possibly. So what's the meeting actually going to be about? Something that is fully illuminated, something that's been revealed in the past. I'm wondering whether it's going to be about minerals. Crowning this reading, alchemy. It's the Temperance card. pouring from cup to cup, two different products making a third. The sum of the two parts, the sum has been greater than the end result is greater than the sum of the two parts. Can also be trying to bring moderation, trying to reduce the toxicity of this meeting. There might even be something explosive that happens before the meeting takes place. Okay, let's see where we go. Look, another agreement card. This one's a more equal footing agreement here. Verbal agreement, emotional agreement. Doesn't feel like it's a written agreement. Discussions. Externally, bringing something major to an end and a new beginning. So, well, it might be a ceasefire, it'd be nice, but let's see how we go. We've got here the Four of Pentacles. Again, money, land, trying to hold on to land internally. This can simply also be death. And internally, trying to keep secret, trying to hold on to with the Four of Pentacles. A land money deal, perhaps. Let's see where we go. Wheel of Fortune and the hopes and fears. Be patient. We will find out what is discussed at some stage. So be patient. There's something about the timing here that feels right. The outcome, the Queen of Cups. Behind the scenes discussions that are not revealed. Seven of Wands, having to defend. And the Chariot, the military. Is this going to trigger? I read forever ago that the Orange Twerp would try and find a way to send US military. And then we've got the emotional overwhelming. And then we've got the Knight, the rash. This can also be military movement as well. Oh, this went down a path I wasn't expecting. We've then got unable to reap the harvest with the Seven of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles juggling the money that comes in from overseas, and then the Ace of Pentacles. A lot of money here, but unable to harvest it. My money laundering card, and then big money announcement. And then we've got the infighting. The infighting, the abuse of power, the lies, the deceit, the betrayal, and then the Tower. I'm really oh, and there's the Devil. There's the next card, the Devil. The Devil being revealed, the Devil will have his due, and then there is some sort of huge judgment announcement being made. Okay. I want to have a bit of a closer look at this because I wonder, I mean, I was thinking, okay, is he going to promise Russia mineral rights to Alaska or something? Or is he going to swap Alaska for, give up Ukraine, we'll sell you Alaska back? I'm sure the Alaskans would have something to say about that, but I'm not getting that particular. Okay, I'm going to give my new True Crimes deck a whirl and do a cut across with that. Let's have a look. What is this deal going to? There is a deal that's going to be done. I mean, we had the Lovers and the Two of Cups. What is this deal going to pertain? Okay, what does Putin have on the Orange Twerp? What does the Kremlin have, the Putin figure, have on the Orange Twerp? What does the Putin figure have? Oh, these are nice cards. Not nearly as slippery. What does the Putin figure have on the Orange Twerp? Even though I shuffled those, that's still the card sitting on the bottom there. What does the Putin figure, what's he going to say, what's he got on the Orange Twerp? What does he have? I mean, the orange twerp wouldn't go to Alaska unless he absolutely had no choice. What's he got? Right. Parties. Or a party. This is the energy this is the signifier. This is what it's about. I mean, Epstein parties with underage girls. Is that what it is? Let's see where it goes. Challenged by power supply. We know how much the orange twerp likes windmills. The darkness here, the storm coming in. Let's see where this goes. Grandparent, the energy stewing in. Grandparent, older, not necessarily wiser, but older. You will notice that Ivanka does, you'll never see the orange twerp with any of his grandkids, especially Ivanka's, because they know what he's like. Is this to do with something that was young enough to be your granddaughter? Man-made disaster in the past. Okay. I mean, it is very much a plane exploding and going down. What is this? The gift. Okay. So what does Putin have over the orange twerp? So he's going to be giving him a gift. I think the challenge is I think it's going to shock him. I mean, I haven't looked at all the cards in here. I doubt there's actually a shock card. So we've got the party. The challenge is something that's going to shock him. And the fact that it's a wind turbine, they're not actually called windmills, they're called wind turbines. It's going to be something that he really does not like. The orange twerp does not like. At the foundation, we've got the grandparent card. The energy that they're stewing in. I mean, it is two old men sitting on a park bench having a chat. The energy that they're stewing in. But we've got this man-made disaster in the past. Okay. I keep seeing that plane that went down in eastern Russia. And I'll swear it had somebody on it. A butler, a valet, someone like that, who had information. Putin's going to give the orange twerp a gift. We've got intuition in the immediate future. So this is telling us to, we've got an inkling of what it might be. Externally. I'm feeling Zorro Ranch. I'm actually feeling Zorro Ranch with this grandparent card. I don't know why. Possibly because it's on very old land. With this, there may even be... Okay, that's going to take me down a different path. I will ask the question. Actually, I'll ask it right now. I'll just pop those cards. Actually, I'll leave them there. I'll just work around them. Is there going to be an attempt? I'm feeling Zorro Ranch, but is there going to be an attempt? My yes-no cards is 12 yes, 12 no, and 2 blank, I think, from memory. Is there going to be an attempt on either of the figureheads? Is there going to be some sort of attempt with this? No. Okay. No, no, no. Right. Okay. So that's not it. So if that's not it, then it needs to be something, multiple unalivings. internally, the dating card. It's got Zorro Ranch vibes. Hopes and fears, the secret. So the gift is going to something we've got an intuition about. The secret, the outcome, the cult, crime of passion, and the running away. Wow. Hitting the road. Got a couple. And landfill. Now the butler came out. Epps's butler came out a day or two ago, who's Paris Butler, and said that Epps had been promised a job in the Orange Twerp's cabinet. First regime attempt. But I'm getting road, couple, landfill. Burial. And then we've got justice. On the bottom we've got that and that. So strangulation, suicide, imprisonment, and then the cleanup. Pretty sure we know who that's about. He's got stuff on Epps about what they were up to. If I go here, a life insurance, spouse and partner, Melania, the devil, organised crime, love, male, fraud, meeting, trapped, revenge. Oh man, these are dark cards. I know they're dark cards, but just the meaning is dark. Okay, I'm going to go back to one of my. I'm going to go back to my Gilded Tarot Royale. Dark secrets being revealed. So from that, the Kremlin is going to confront Two of Cups and the Sun card. Yes, verbally confront, emotionally confront. Big yes. Going to confront the Orange Twerp with something to do with the unaliving of those that were trafficked, the children that were trafficked. Is that what we're getting? Is that what we're getting? Is that what the Putin figure's bringing to Alaska? I just get that the Orange Twerp's going to have that hangdog look that he did in Helsinki. Well, that's a yes card. And the devil. Dance the tune of the devil. Tide yourself to the devil and the devil will have his due. Challenged by the magician. Got everything that they need to manifest the outcome that they want. The emotional overwhelming. I keep seeing that at some stage Orange Twerp's going to have a public emotional breakdown. It just may be a temper tantrum or something like that, but let's see where it goes. In the past, a harsh truth. Crowning the reading, secrets being revealed with the High Priestess, the immediate future, the Ace of Pentacles, the big money announcement, the abuse of power, betrayal, bullying internally, information being brought forward about women and young girls. I actually feel incredibly uncomfortable reading this. Hopes and fears, the Two of Wands, A choice needs to be made, how to play this. The Eight of Pentacles, the Death card, the Six of Pentacles. Work going on behind the scenes that's going to bring something to an ending, and then money is going to change hands. You're going to have this delusion and smoke and mirrors come forward as the orange twerp is forced to retreat in the face of the truth. You've got on the bottom there the military having to defend. Oh man, oh man. If I keep going, the Queen of Cups, something behind the scenes that is offered up, not revealed, but there's a new plan, a new strategy, new truth. Some people have this as their Putin card. I don't actually have a Putin card, so might as well. And then we have the Hierophant, government, and a lot of announcements coming really quickly. You've got Homeland Security, secrets being revealed, the burden, the Sun, and then the Hermit, an investigation. You've got the Page of Swords, a whistleblower, volatile information being brought forward about treason and betrayal from the Emperor. Can be Putin, but I'm getting orange twerp vibes with this. And then we've got the Ten of Swords. Okay, I want to ask, so what is it do they have? Let's grab the yes and no's for a few quickies, quick answers here. Is the Putin figure going to bring undeniable information about the unaliving of some of the trafficked children? Is the Putin figure in private meeting going to bring about, they're trying to force the orange twerp's hands. Yes, 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 blank. So yes, about the unaliving. Man, what a rabbit hole have I gone down. Is the Putin figure going to demand US military assistance? Is the Putin figure going to demand US military assistance of some sort that then the orange twerp's going to have to defend against? No. No, yes, no, not sure what that means. Okay, let's see if I can back to these true crimes. What is it? Oops, some of them must be upside down. What is it? What is it that the Kremlin is going to demand of the orange twerp? Man, I thought it might have been mineral rights for Alaska or something, but no. What is it that the Kremlin is going to demand from the orange twerp? Feels like this missing. Paperwork going missing, perhaps. That one on top. What is the Kremlin going to demand? hidden, something that's missing and hidden. Fraud. This figure here is at an ATM, an automatic teller machine where you get money out of. So missing money that's hidden, that's been withdrawn perhaps. Let's see where this goes. You've got that power supply again, intuition again, and organised crime. Missing hidden fraud. It's going to be shocking, but we intuitively know what it is, and it's organised crime. Let me put those back randomly and see if I can get a clearer picture. Okay. What is Russia going to demand? It's upside down. What is Russia going to demand of the orange twerp? Marriage and wedding. Version. We know that Melania's father used to work for the Russian gangsters pretty much, and that she was deliberately put in his path. What is the Kremlin actually going to demand that the orange twerp supply, that the United States government supply to them? What is the Kremlin going to demand? Cover up? Challenged by the fraud again. Exchanging the cover up for some sort of fraud here. The neighbourhood is the energy they're stewing in. So they are in the hood, being in Alaska. Surveillance. Caregiver. The energy over at the caregiver. Clean up. The cult externally. Internally, a meeting. A really important meeting. Some sort of affair in the hopes and fears. I mean, we know that the orange twerp has had multiple affairs, even while married. The cleanup of an affair? But what are they wanting? There's organised crime again, money, strangulation, and fire. And then the serial killer. Actually, what I'm being told is they want the US to take out Zelensky. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that they want the US to take out Zelensky. Look at that. Look at this. Is that right? Is that? Oh, yes and yes, as I split the deck. Is that what the Putin figure is the Kremlin is going to demand? And yes again, in exchange, covering up, and yes again. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, that they're going to demand is in exchange for. However, I do want to ask those true crimes away. I'm back to the Gilded Tarot Royale. Show me, is that what is actually going to be asked? And if so, will it be successful? Is that what is going to be asked? And if so, is it going to be foiled? Foiled or successful? Let's have a look. This nightmare strategy here, action strategy, nightmare situation. They're put in a nightmare situation, a crossroads about which way to go in regards to this. Is it to do in return for, it's just so ghastly, in return for not revealing about the unaliving of trafficked children, is the Kremlin demanding that the US unalive Zelensky, and if so, how will it go? Sorry, a bit of a deep dive here. I thought I was going to be talking about, Alaskan minerals and stuff. Right, the Six of Cups. Just my voter card, but I'm also, it's the end of a cycle, joy at the end of a cycle, an end of a cycle joy. We've got the Emperor on the bottom, the underlying energy, that can very much be the Putin figure, setting up this nightmare situation with that Nine of Wands, with the Ten of Cups, the end of a joyous period, challenged by strength, a show of strength. Some people also have this as the Republican card. It's usually my voter card, but the Republican card, a show of strength. Oh, that devil again. The energy that they're stewing in. Challenged by showing strength. A plan coming in from overseas with that Three of Wands in the past, coming from overseas. Oh boy. And then we've got the Page of Swords. A powerful, singular, small message. Could also be a whistleblower that comes forward in regards to this volatile information brought forward in the near future. A lot of information coming out, being exposed really quickly. In the external position, in the internal position, it's going to change everything with the Wheel of Fortune. Hopes and fears, the Chariot, the military, and then we've got the Ten of Swords, a downfall. Seven of Pentacles, the inability to harvest, and then we've got Russia. But whose downfall? Okay, thank you. Right. These swords are not piercing. This is what I'm getting. The swords are not piercing. They're paused to fall. Something here where cannot be harvested. And then we've got the Russia card. And then we've got the Ten of Wands, the burden of it. We've then got protection with that Queen of Pentacles. And then the Moon card. I did that reading a couple of weeks back where I saw Zelensky had been wounded through the arm. You've got the Emperor, the nightmare situation, the investigation, things that are trying to be kept secret, but the abuse of power and betrayal and deceit. Okay, well, it takes me It's all part of this unraveling. Back to the yes-no cards. Goodness me, they've been getting to work out lately. Oh, yes, yes, this is what it is. This is... So is Zelensky going to be... It's just that vision I saw of him, like his shoulder was strapped up and he had it in a really big sling. Is this what I saw? Is it in an attempt that goes wrong and then it all gets revealed? Isn't it an attempt that goes wrong? Yes. Blank. Yes. Yes, on the bottom there. Yes, it is. But the blank is very possibly that it's not successful. Okay. Does everything then get revealed after that about this agreement because it didn't succeed? Is it then revealed? Goodness me, I'm putting myself right out on a limb with some of these visions and predictions I'm happening. Is this agreement then revealed? I do get that the remains at Zorro Ranch will be found at some stage in the not too distant future. That might have been what that couple was. I feel like it's almost like someone's going to be out walking and they stumble across something poking out of the ground. Yeah, someone's going to stumble across something poking out of the ground. Okay, back to when this failed attempt occurs. Is that when everything is going, this agreement is going to be revealed? Yes. The next one was a no, but they're telling me yes. Yes, perhaps not everything. Okay, I might leave that one there. There's a few other topics I want to get through to today. I'm just very quickly going to have a look at, didn't even write his name down, but the Director of Digital Innovation in the CIA. Kremlin have sent via Witkoff. Boy. For his son, the Order of Lenin. Throwing under the bus, the infighting, the bickering starting, secrets being revealed. This really, really, really should be front and center. Why is... Okay, let's have a look from that point of view. Why is the Kremlin sending the CIA Director of Digital Innovation, the Order of Lenin? And I'm getting it to remind, we own you. Boy. Show me. Yeah. We own you. Stealing, lying, betraying, deceit. The oligarchical money, the end of the legacy of the lie and deceit. Actions having consequences, the justice card, the Hierophant, the higher authorities, Queen of Wands, and the be careful what you wish for is the poops in the cup. So this was a passive-aggressive message. So just check that cup before you drink from it. And then the Death card. Bringing an end. It's just, you owe us. It was a deceitful way, because it was broadcast on Russian television and announced in the Russian media. Dikov couldn't refuse it. So why were they sending it to them? To this I think this guy has been stealing stuff and getting paid. It's almost like putting him in front of the justice system. Watch for a Freedom of Information Act request come out in regards to this Director of Digital Information. Because you've got the higher authorities here. So the double layered was basically, you owe us. Check your cup before you drink from it. Be careful who you tied yourself to, because we're going to bring your downfall, your ending, passive aggressive manner. It's not like they actually accused him of anything. But the second is basically to highlight that the Director of Digital Innovation in the CIA is a betrayer. Check his bank accounts. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. That was way long enough. I think we're going to find out. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Love to you all. Take care.